anticipating disappointment. I'm a black man in America. America always disappoints me.
Hi, I'm Casey and welcome back to Casey Uncovered. Today we are going to be talking about a pretty heavy topic, so I recommend that if you're not having the best day or if you're not feeling too well, you come back to this. I'll be here still. In my digital media literacy class today, we watched a documentary called Ferguson, a report from occupied territory. The documentary follows the aftermath of Michael Brown after he was shot down and killed. The tragedy happened August 9, 2014, when I was 11 years old. My parents weren't the type of parents to sit down and explain to me about things such as racism or just topics of that sort. They definitely shielded me from some things. Obviously, in the world we live in, it's very easy to find out information about things like this, but I was never really sat down and talked to and explained it thoroughly. So with this particular story, I didn't know much about until I went to class and we watched the documentary. So all the news was pretty much brand new news to me. In the documentary were several everyday citizens of St. Louis using their First Amendment rights, but we all know that white people do not like when we do that, especially black women. They use our pain and our concern and our fear and twist it and make us look like monsters who are angry and bitter and cannot. Let me stop popping my neck. An example of this in the documentary was a scared and hurt and concerned mother with two kids by the name of Dale Taylor, who was expressing that fear and pain and sadness to city officials and asking them, basically begging them, can they please help make it a safer place for her boys? And what did the media do? They turned her and they made it look like she was ghetto and dramatic and just yelling for no reason. That particular clip really awoke something in me. And it reminded me of my own mother's, who I have 4 little brothers. And every day my mothers express how worried they are that sometimes their sons won't come back home. They stress the fact not to wear hoods, not to walk around with your hands in your pockets, not to walk into buildings with hats on. There is a lot of things that they express to them to make sure that they stay safe. Even in nice neighborhoods where we have moved back and forth from bad ones to good ones, they still express it no matter what and no matter where, because we always have to worry about a target on our back. Fortunately, even though we have that target on our backs, we cannot be angry. We're not allowed to be angry. Same as the citizens in St. Louis. They drive past abandoned houses, stores, schools, and everything else, and yet when they try to buy it, they are not allowed to buy it unless they have enough money to develop it. Even though they charge them an arm and a leg just to breathe in their home, even though they get fined for jaywalking, even if they're not even jaywalking, even though they're black and walking across the street and get stopped, it doesn't matter. You're still not allowed to be angry. You're still not allowed to express your pain and sadness. You're not allowed. It doesn't even matter if they gun down an 18-year-old boy in the middle of the street and leave his body there for 4 hours for anyone to see, as if saying, you're next. You're still not allowed to be angry. This documentary didn't surprise me at all. Honestly, I'm numb to the stories like this. The racism is so loud and clear, and throughout the entire video, you ask yourself, but why did they do that? But why this? But why that? But why him? But why her? Racism. I know that answer isn't enough, but plain and simple, that's what it is. The tragedy happened in 2014. It is now 2020. Oh my gosh, no, it is not. It is now 2022, and it's still happening. It's time to stop anticipating disappointment and get angry again. If we go numb and lose hope, what will happen to the children down the line 5 years from now? What will happen to our kids and their kids? I know you're like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna be old and grown, but like, care, care. It's time to start caring. It's time to stop letting history repeat itself. How many times does history have to repeat itself before we realize that we can do something and we can make a difference?